Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you have joined from. Welcome to the Braze Life Interactive session for week 2. This week, we are doing adaptation and mitigation strategies in production. So last week, it was about introduction, where we talked about climate change and your agribusiness. This week, we're entering into the cost proper, and then we're starting with production. We have very wonderful personalities that will be, talking to us about adaptation and mitigation strategies in production today. But before we get into that, let's quickly establish agenda for today. Before I do that, please, there is the interpretation button. If you speak French, please click on the interpretation, and then you will see French and English, and then mute original audio. Please click on French and then click on mute original audio so that you can be listening to me in French. All right, thank you so much. So we'll be having introduction, and then we'll talk about AFC, and then we'll be revealing the top scholars for week 1. I'm actually very excited about that because that's the first unveiling of top scholars we'll be doing for this batch. After that, we'll have the speaker's presentation, after which we'll go to the portal walkthrough, and then we'll close for the day. So quickly, let us introduce ourselves in the chat box, just like we always do. Please tell us your name, your country, and your agribusiness. This is an opportunity for you to connect with other like-minded entrepreneurs around or in the chat room. So my name is Patience Brimo. I am from Nigeria, and I am a program officer at African Food Changemakers. So let's do that introduction in that format in the comment section. So take it a little bit, a little step forward, and let us know how you are feeling for today. It is the second live interactive session. For some people, it is the first, while for others, it is the second live interactive session. How do you feel about the live interactive session for week 2? Whether it's your first or it's your second, how do you feel about it? We really like to know in the comment section. I wish I can get to the comment section and read how you all are feeling about today, but I am sharing my screen, so it is really difficult for me to quickly go to the chat room to check what you all are writing. But then they are all valid, and we are saying that. So about African food change makers, at this point, let us read it together because it's becoming a norm for us, right? So at African Food Change Makers, we believe that small and medium-sized enterprises are the lifeblood of the food ecosystem in Africa. These enterprises are driven by visionary, dynamic, and innovative entrepreneurs who operate as primary producers, aggregators, processors, distributors, finance and technology providers, chefs, cooks, consultants, and innovators. We call them change makers. So you are a change maker because I know you fall into one of these categories that we've just listed. So these change makers are faced with the devastating impact of climate change, global and local risk and shocks, macro and microeconomic challenges. These entrepreneurs need funding, they need training, they need visibility, market linkages, and a community of support to successfully scale their businesses. Through the African Food Chain Makers Hub, we enable African entrepreneurs to start and scale resilient and sustainable agribusinesses that nourish Africa and the world at large. So how we do what we do is by community, by data and opportunities, visibility and recognition, as well as learnings and trainings. So yeah, this is the part where we get to ring our bells and shout it loud to the upper heavens. So where is it? Upper heavens? Okay. So we're going to be revealing our top scholars for week 1. So like I've explained before, top scholars are people that did well in that particular week or that particular module. So there are people that have the highest scores, and apart from having the highest scores, they also have the highest attendance during the live interactive session. So for this week, for our top scholars, we have, just like you're seeing on the screen, we have Omolola Abodurin from Nigeria. Congratulations, Omolola. We have Abiola Olaiton from Nigeria as well. We have Reverend Gabriel Kafui Sedo from Ghana. We have Omokose Mary from Nigeria. We have Alinuswe Kapisa from Zambia. We have Honorator Achieng from Kenya. We have Rama Krishna Apad. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name well, but we have Rama Krishna Apadu from Mauritius. We have Mamoyelo Emmanuel from Nigeria. We have John Grevulo Mpopo from Malawi. Fasina Johnson from Nigeria. Ulemu Sembezi from Malawi. Dr. Michael Avuehota from Nigeria. Ritaro Augustine Peace from Nigeria. We have Christian Masirika from DRC, yes, Democratic Republic of Congo. And then we have Paul Atim from Uganda. Congratulations to all of you that came out top scholars for this week. Congratulations, and let's say congratulations in the comment section to all our top scholars for this week. We hope to have more top scholars for next week. We hope to reveal that of week 2 during the live interactive session next week. Thank you so much for your consistency, for your hard work, and then being the top scorer even within the module, and also attending the live interactive session. Congratulations to you all. So let's quickly have the participants sharing session like we did last week. This is the part where we get to hear what your key takeaway is from module 2. So if you have a key takeaway that you would like to share with us, something very critical, something new that you learned from the session and you would like us to hear, please raise your hand and I will call you to share with us. I'll check if there's any hand raised. I'll check to see that. So please, if you have anything to share with us from week 2, you have like a key learning that you would like to just, talk about. It's okay to talk about it. That also encourages us to know that, oh, you're learning something from the modules. Okay, I think I can see one hand raised. All right. Gambo Garba, I'm asking you to unmute and share with us. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
What I've gone through what we're supposed to discuss today, which I think is adaptation and meditation strategy in production. So I go on my own and search for this information about the adaptation and meditation strategy, and it's understood to me that the adaptation strategies, it just refers to the action taken to adjust the changing condition. And such can be a climate changes to minimize the negative impacts and also maximize the opportunities. So, and most of the examples of this under the adaptation strategy, I come to realize we have something like the climate smart agriculture, where we have also the irrigation management that can be done by the farmer, the crop diversification, then coming to the variety selection as well. So I also moved to the other aspect, which is the meditation strategies, because I was like a kind of taking them bit by bit. Since they say adaptation and meditation strategy in perfection, so I first take the adaptation strategy, coming to the meditation strategy, and at the same time the production as well. So I was like, I understand also the meditation strategy. They are all talking about the changes that reduce the severity or impact of the problem, such as the climate changes in general. So I also learned little on the production level strategy, which is also specify the action and the practice implemented at the farm or production level to achieve the specific goal. And most of this I come to understand on the production, which can be from the crop selection and the planning. As a farmer, you want to plant a crop, what types of crop are you going to select? Sometimes you look at your own environment, and as a SME, the business, the agri-business holder, what types of plant do you think, if you take it to the market in your community, maybe you may have a kind of good profit, and at the same time, when you planted the crop, you have a high yield of this nature. We have a soil management, the irrigation, the pest and disease management, fertilizer and nutrient management, all under the production and the production level strategies. So I think this is what I was able to understand.
All right, thank you so much, Gambo Garba. Thank you so much. So I have many other hands raised. So please let's make it snappy so that let's just go straight to the point so that we'll be able to take more people before we have our speakers coming. So quickly, Fozia Al-Hassan, please, I'm asking you to unmute and share.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Nice meeting you again. All right, what I learned is this mitigation. I even asked question last week, but I have to go and read deep. So I discovered that mitigation is a process of reducing severity and impact or livelihood of a problem, risks or threat that cause sorry ma, and it involves taking proactive steps to minimize the effects of potential issues or to prevent them from occurring in the first place. So, and I now look at the mitigation strategies. That's risk management, environmental management, disaster management, business continuity. So I don't want to go deep because you say I should just go straight to the point.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing, Fozia. Thank you so much. So, Melody Ngoyano, please, I'm asking you to unmute and share.
Good evening, everyone.
Good day.
What I've learned is climate change is upon us, and it affects all.
Is this my network? I'm not sure I can hear Melody. Hi, Melody.
Good everyone. Are you hearing me?
Okay, yes, it's better now.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I have learned that climate change is real and it's upon us, and it touches all across the value chain of agriculture, from production up to processing. And so we have to really work on adaptation and mitigation measures in order for us to survive.
All right, thank you so much, Melody. Thank you. Daniel, please go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, Daniel.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes,
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity to speak. I want to share my learning for this part, for the module. The topic were very insightful. What I picked out from the mitigation and adaptation is that for sustainable agriculture, it has to entail adaptation and mitigation. Adaptation goes with the process by which you carry out your farming activity to adapt to sustainable farming. While mitigation is what you do to prevent the impact of climate change. So it's on both sides. To be able to practice sustainable farming, you need both adaptation and mitigation, which every farmer needs to apply to the farming practice in order to be able to have climate smart farming. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So I have the last hand here, Diolugi. Diolugi, please, I'm asking you to unmute and speak.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
So I am hearing for the first time that there's carbon farming actually. So having been through the model this week, I never knew about carbon farming, And to even top it off, there's a finance, there's a credit attached to it. So that was an interest for me personally, because it was an eye opener to know that there's a way you can get the carbon and put that into the soil, and there's, it gives the soil the moisture it needs, it gives the soil the health, and helps it to grow properly, grow your crops, and improve your farming processing, and just understanding the fact that there's more to agriculture than I would ever have thought. I was saying this to a friend of mine last week, that I never thought that agriculture or farming is this complex and so interesting. And having been in these courses this past couple of weeks, it's an opener for me personally. And I really look forward to the journey ahead. So thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing with us. Thank you. All right, thank you everyone for sharing your lessons from week 2. It's really great to know that some of you have followed, promptly, and that's really great. Thank you so much. So without wasting much time, I'll just share my screen again, and we'll get to the speaker's presentation, because I know that you all have questions to ask the speaker. So we don't waste too much time. I'll quickly introduce our speakers for today, and then they will take on. I know you already know this face. If you have done module 2 and you have gone through all of module 2, then you must have seen this face countless times in all of the courses in module 2. So to take us first in the presentation today is Ernest Abanabakize. He's a co-founder of Agri Research Rwanda, and he's been our trainer and our facilitator right from the beginning of BRACE since 2023. Ernest has always been there. He has recorded most of the courses that you're seeing in the portal, and he has always been part of the journey for every batch till this time. And this is the last batch for this year. And I just want to, this one is a personal thank you to Ernest for all of the contributions to the BRACE program from the year 2023 till now. The past 3 years, Ernest has really been instrumental to all of the achievements in the BRACE program, and this is really great and commendable. Thank you so much, Ernest. Maybe we'll get to do this properly later, but all right, thank you so much. So Ernest is an international development enthusiast who believes in developing a new culture to leverage strengths and values that inspire transformational change and provide opportunities that place people at the center. He has special interest to address problems associated with climate change, women's economic empowerment and food security, agriculture, and natural resource management through technological and social innovations. He has designed and coordinated a lot of initiatives related to capacity building, training programs, development and research action promotion in areas of climate change adaptation planning, food security, and women's economic empowerment across Africa and North America. He also has extensive experience in project management, research, and policy analysis. He is the co-founder at Agri Research Rwanda, a youth-led organization promoting digital and market-oriented agriculture in Rwanda. He's currently working as an independent consultant to develop nature-based solutions and data-driven decision-making frameworks in agriculture. So with some loud ovation, even though I'm not seeing the loud ovation, even though I cannot hear it, just let us appreciate and welcome Ernest to the virtual podium in the comment section. Thank you so much, Ernest, for all of your support since the beginning of BRACE. We appreciate it, Peter. So I'm just going to hand over the virtual podium to you. Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, or is it afternoon here you are?
All right, so good afternoon, patients, and here we're in the morning, so it's 10 a.m. in the morning, and it's always a pleasure to be part of this group of enthusiasts of agripreneurs, agriculture, development. I couldn't have asked to belong to any other beta group. And what actually fuels or what powers my strength is to hear the testimonies of a lot of you guys going through the modules and you know, discovering stuff and going to do even deeper search, because the modules in themselves are not necessarily that much deep, but they are designed to be like some of you have said, an eye opener to people who are already involved in agriculture, to go even search more, to go do dig deep and actually discover, work out, and be more resilient as we transform our food systems. So it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be part of the BRICS program. It's been a quite a journey, and it's so lovely. Well, so usually this is called live session. So it's not really meant to be a presentation, because most of you have already gone through the modules and you have some comments, some inputs. It's supposed to be really a conversational platform where you do provide inputs to my modules, my recordings, and then maybe some questions, and then I do provide some extra clarifications. We do actually a conversation and exchange your thoughts, my thoughts, and I answer your questions. You give me your thoughts and your comments, and it can't be a better way to do it more than that way. But because I believe also some people maybe want things to be a bit formal, I usually have a very slight presentation that I want to do, maybe to 4-5 minutes max, to just probably do a nice breaker so that we enter into the actual conversation. They've introduced me. I'm not gonna go and add anything else. Patients have done justice to my profile. So let me just go straight to the presentation, where it is. It is here. Very good. I'm gonna go and share my screen. Yeah, here we go. I believe you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Very good. So, again, so when I say African food change makers, I mean that's one of the greatest platform that you guys can expect if you want to leverage your skills and leverage the power of networks to advance your efforts, your initiatives, your businesses in agriculture. And smart agriculture is the way to go. If you see my title here, I don't know where my title is not being seen here. Give me a second. Yeah, I say smart agriculture is not a luxury, but a necessity. The reason why I put this way is because maybe most of you are young, maybe about 20 years back from now, because climate change was already there, but we didn't have the extremes events that we see. The floodings were not that much, the droughts were not that extreme. So we're having some kind of optimum rain and temperatures that we needed. But over the years, we've seen the exacerbations of the weather, and climate change has increasingly become a norm. But back then, it was only for a group of people who want to do efficiency, who want to do businesses, not for every ordinary farmer. But now with the current situation where we do have rain every, intermittent rains, if I want to say, where we don't have rain when it's supposed to rain, where we have sun and temperatures where we're not supposed to have them. And even when we do have them, they come at a very extreme. So everybody's nobody's actually immune. So everybody, from the smallest farmer you can ever imagine, in the smallest village in Africa, in Caribbean, in Haiti, we do need to be smart to actually to deal with these effects of climate change. So that's why I said it's no more a luxury, it's just a necessity for all of us. And that change cannot be done by anybody except young people. You know, all of you, that actually more than 50%, actually more than 50% of the population in Africa are under 35 years old. So which means if you really want to do something that makes a movement, it has to start from young people. And when I say from young people, we're saying they have to take the lead, not just mere participants, not just beneficiaries, because we are increasingly seeing that when the youth take charges, they usually come with a different mentality, mindset, with different tools, with different capacities, digital innovations and stuff. And those are the only things that we can actually rely on these days to transform our sector, our agriculture. So, and again, I already mentioned that the type of shocks we have been experiencing in our farming activities. And the reason why I like this is not an ordinary classroom. I'm talking to farmers, I believe. Most of you do have small enterprises, or even some of you who don't not have enterprises are actually aspiring to have some. But I guess majority of you are involved in one way in agriculture. So when I say droughts, you know what I mean, because you are being hit so hard. So that's our enemy. So you should know that this is our enemy. When I say floods and erratic rainfall patterns, you know what I mean. When I say pest outbreaks, you know what I mean. When I say food loss and lost, and this actually hurts me more because actually there's a study. It's not actually a study. It's a statistic out there. 2/3 of most of our food is either lost or actually wasted. You know, so we do complain of climate shocks and stuff, but also we're not doing good job when it comes to managing what we have already produced, and that from farm to table. So there's so much to do, and everybody has you know, what they can do in this big value chain of production. Now, and for some of you, or if not all of you, have read my modules or the modules in the portal. You know that the drivers of the climate change include greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and unsustainable farming practices and soil degradation. In fact, more than 50% of the soil in Africa is already degraded, which means if nothing's done, if there's no smart way of doing things, if there's no practical ways to actually deal with that, you might think you are farming, but it's, you know, it's going to be in vain. You know, the production is not going to be worthy the efforts you put it if we do not deal with the actual problems. And so, and emissions are not necessarily coming from agriculture alone, but agriculture is a very big contribution. But good news, agriculture can also be a contributor to mitigate actually these very emissions we're talking about. Now, when I take climate smart agriculture, I'm talking about, forget about these buzzy or fancy terms that people use. We're talking about productivity. How do we increase productivity in the era of climate change? How do we increase productivity even when there's no rain? How do we increase productivity when rainfall is ringing? So how do we even get resilient to the temperatures that are rising? Because we're not going to die. We have to continue to farm anyways. We have to eat. So you have to be resilient all the way. So how do we even mitigate, how do we prevent those emissions from rising at the first place? Like one of the scholar has mentioned. When you do apply the climate smart agriculture practices in a proper way, you have the potential to actually increase the yield by 30% and reduce the emission up to 15%. Now, what I'm giving here is just an example of the practices. There are plenty of them. In fact, the list is just long, so this is not very exhaustive. If you see what I mentioned here, is an example. There's water management, there's regenerative agriculture, there's diversified cropping, there's digital innovation. You know, I will probably speak a bit on these and the last one. So, for example, when we talk about digital innovation, again, the reason why I focus on productivity and efficiency when it comes to climate smart agriculture, for example, you know, one of the biggest problems we do have in Africa is land degradation. And what people actually do, instead of adopting things that actually go in harmony with nature, things like regenerative agriculture, biodiversity, natural farming, regenerative agriculture, most people are still going to the green revolution. They are using fertilizers, the chemical fertilizers. Even with that, let's see, some people just apply NPK, the natural, the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium fertilizers, just as if they are putting dust in the soil, or stones, or sands in the soil. And your crops, your soil does not need that much actually, and it does depend on which soil you're applying to. So people have adopted, for example, at AgriResearch, we do have what we call smart input. Smart input is like a technology whereby actually by using your mobile phone without internet, with low data, with just your normal phone, even if it's not a smartphone, you are able to understand the characteristics of your soil, wherever you are in your country. And then based on that, the app is going to recommend you the amount of fertilizers to use based on your location, based on your soil type, based on those type of things. And what we are finding is in most situations, even in a very small plot of land, you don't need the same amount of fertilizers across the farm. So not only this will save you money, but it also save the environment, because when you apply more fertilizers than what the plants or the soil needs, they end up in the rivers, they end up in the lakes, and then you see the algal blooms, and then you see the water being polluted. So these technologies are not only increasing efficiency and productivity, but also they are helping to protect the environments. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about is what I call a soft climate smart practice. It's coming up. Not a lot of people have already gone into it, but I think it's something that people need to start thinking about. Crop insurance. It's a way of resilience. It's also another way of adaptation, because we're talking about adaptation and mitigation. Since climate change is already on us, there's nothing much we can do. We have to adapt, at the same time mitigate. Now, one of the way to adapt is crop insurance. There are some companies that have invested so much money. You can adopt any model. Some company have different models. So, but I'm trying to tell you that crop insurance is something you need also to start to explore. Talk to the banks, to talk to those companies that are involved in this sector, so that you know what to do in case you invest your money, because nobody wants to invest and lose. You all want to invest and reap the benefits. So crop insurance is something you need to take care about. It's also a climate smart practice. I want to emphasize it's a soft one. Now, but all of these, because young people usually have challenges, you probably are a graduate, you just maybe got a small plot of land, and you probably got a very small capital. But how do you get the support you need? So there's so many funding opportunities, there's collaboration initiatives, the climate finance and policy support. And I think African Food Change Makers is doing also part of these things we're talking about. They are matching you with people with the finance. They are they are providing network platforms so that you actually get engaged with people who have money or have finance. I believe they also interact with the government to see how young people can also get involved, not only as just farmers, but also people who take active role at the policy table to decide on what is done for them. Very important as I round up. Essential soft skills for agripreneurs. The reason why I brought this slide, and I overemphasized on this last time as well, now we're living in a world where the skills, maybe you have the skills, you've done my modules, you've done your degree, you've even read on the internet, because information is always there. But then you're asking yourself, what's next? Because we're saying you need to have networkings, you need to have money. So how do? You need to know how to write your idea. You need to know how to present your idea to the funders if you really have to get the finance that is needed to advance your activities. So, and you're not gonna go any class. You have to. It's a skill. You learn it. And it's very intentional. So you need to find a way to put things on paper, to be able to present, because those who know to do these things that you see here more are the ones that are going to thrive more in the world we are in. Because everybody's going to be looking for money. So, which means people are going to be writing proposals to the funding agencies. So how do you make the difference? So you have to be intentional, put efforts into these, put your, be clear in what you want, be clear in your motivation, and show how it's going to make impact, not only on you, but also in the communities you are serving. This is very important. And it's no longer something that is for a specific group of people. You need it as a farmer. You need it as an agripreneur. And now call to action is actually there's I applaud people like African food change makers of what they are doing, because they're inspiring collaboration when they bring people, experts, organization to meet you guys and explore the ways to work together. It starts there. When they empower you with skills, it starts there. When they empower you to go out and do things you're supposed to do, it starts there. But most importantly, we need a situation where you guys, young people, take the lead and show actually the example of what is possible, of the numerous possibilities and potentials that we have in agriculture when we adopt these practices that we are advocating for. Yeah, that's gonna be that. For that, I just wanted to remind you these few things. And I'll be happy to answer a few questions if we do have time, patience. And I know that's the motive and the reason of this call today. If there's people who have questions, inputs, comments on the modules, on even what I just shared, that's the right time to hear from you.
All right, thank you so much, Ernest. Thank you, as always. You've inspired us again. Thank you so much. So, but before the questions and answer, I would like that the second speaker, makes his own presentation, after which we can take all of the questions and answers together.
I even forgot. Thank you very much. No.
All right, thank you, sir. So I'll share my screen again to quickly introduce the next speaker. And yeah, we go. Okay. So our next speaker for today is Dr. Philip Ifejika. He is the Assistant Director of Research and Extension, NIFFR, Niger State, Nigeria. He's an assistant director of fisheries, like I said, and extension, and he has 23 years of working experience in fishery and aquaculture research, extension and outreach, training and communication with the National Institute of Freshwater Fisheries Research, NIFFR, New Busak, Niger State, Nigeria. Dr. Ifejika has worked with public and private NGOs and farmers group and has engaged in mentoring and coaching of youths. He had implemented projects in Nigeria and ECOWAS sub-regions like Senegal, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and Sierra Leone. He was the immediate past Vice President, Aquaculture of the Fisheries Society of Nigeria, FISON, and Niger State Chairman of FISON. He is a fellow of AESON, FFRC, WUSI China, and CORAF. With some amazing sound ovation, let us welcome Dr. Philip to the virtual podium as he takes over the mic. Good evening, Doctor. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Doctor. Good
Hello,
evening, sir.
can you?
Okay, yes, I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
I can hear you. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let them project my slide.
Yes, that's the next thing you see.
I hope it's not. Are you sure?
Hi, Doctor. Can you see your screen?
I hope it's a no slide. Yeah. Okay. Go to second. Let me go to the title page. This is,
Okay.
okay. Continue. No, this is not the beginning. In the slide. No, this is not the beginning. Go to the beginning now. So you are going down, up. Okay. Hello, good evening. I want to once again welcome all of us, particularly my co-presenter. I'm happy that he touched some of the things that I missed in my slide. So thank you very much. Like they said, the topic is adaptation and mitigation strategies and production. Yeah, we're focusing on fisheries and livestock. And also, I'm happy that some of the participants, they are already making some personal effort to know more on the issues of mitigation and adaptation. Next slide. Next slide. Hello. Next slide. Hello. Okay, this is the outline. We have the definition of adaptation, why aquaculture, the adaptation and mitigation. Next one, because it's where the next one. Hello, next one. Like we can see the issue of climate change, we are all used to it. In this place, we can see flooding, which is one of the major cases. Then here we can see a community in Nigeria around May or so. They suffered climate change flooding because of the place there has been a delay in flooding in that area. So people started to build houses along the area. This Moka, it was a popular case in Nigeria in March. I mean, in May this year. So the strategies is some are beyond us. You cannot control flood, but you're supposed to have a good knowledge of it to be able to know how your site, whether your farm, whether as for issues climate, will go see maintain this high temperature, out water scarcity, rising sea level, flooding, and other. So this is a lot of activities caused by and man activities. Next slide. Next slide. Are you with me? Hello.
I have moved it. I think it's network.
So,
I've moved it. So
okay.
can,
Sorry.
can you see
So
it
yeah,
now?
none. Like it's
Okay.
not different from. Yes, I'm on it. So yeah, already we know I'm focusing first on aquaculture, and this is so you can see aquaculture. We start from it's a business, and we know that in that business people are making money. Aquaculture is not it's being driven by elites, people who are educated, people who have worked and retired, army generals, engineers, people in civil service, ministers, and the rest. And young people are also into aquaculture. In Nigeria, use are about more than 20 to 25% now in aquaculture. So there is it's a money spending area for young people who want to make money. Then the impact of aquaculture on climate is one, due to intensity of the use of feed. All these things are causing what? Release of methane, nitrite, and other gases, which has helped to pollute the earth, and particularly the water, because fish stays in water. So you can see with the diagram, you can see NH3, you can see fish and the rest of them. And then, but what are we to do? What is the mitigation strategy for sustainable aquaculture? Like one is you have to take agri insurance policy. The problem with agri insurance policy is in Nigeria for now is only government. So that people are advocating that for private people to come into insurance, agri insurance, to insure your farm. Like this afternoon, within my area, there's a place where we call Koro. The fish farmers there, they are now incurring a heavy loss. Why? Because miners, they use the chemical they use to mine, they are discharging it into the water, which the fishermen are using. And there's a whole lot of fish that are dying in that place. So you can see their need. The use of floating fish feed to reduce waste that will pollute the water. And floating fish is common in Nigeria, both foreign and locally made. Now is adapted to integrated fish farming and then cage farming in lakes and many places. Many people have some flowing waters, either lakes or streams, that you can practice cage culture or adapt integrated. Integrated can be which is then it as award by digital water testing kit. You know, the problem we have in agriculture and it is making it look local is that many people they don't invest. You cannot engineer a medical line and the rest of them. You must have working tools to simplify and get accurate information to help you to take decision. And in fish farming, one of them is digital water testing. Then another one to seek local knowledge before buying land and siting your pond, like what we saw in Mokwa. All those people who had farm or houses in that area, they lost it. So before seek local knowledge about the area, before you go and buy a place that is on waterway. And not even that, this year in Ogun State, there are many fish farmers, they lost their investment in our way. No, not away, somewhere in Ogun State, they lost their fish investment because of flooding. So all this is important. It's a lesson for us to take precaution. Then invest in weather information, data. Early this year, when we go to the next slide, we are going to see it. There was a list of period of rainfall and the rest of them. When you are into agribusiness, you have to act intelligent. Using working intelligence means you use information to take decision. So it's important that you know about now, even with our phone, we can know about weather information and the rest of them. Then another is a recirculatory system or aquaponics. All these things are new. The only thing is that they need money and electricity to operate, which we in most African countries we might not have. In Nigeria, electricity is the problem to use modern technology. Then the next is to plant shade crops like bananas around our pond to reduce heat and the rest of them. Even if it is in livestock, when we get to there, we discuss even livestock, the same thing applies. Then solar powered generators or to generate to pump boreholes. We are going to see an example of it as we go in this slide. So use those things that does not use generator or fuel that will cause pollution. Then low input plant feed like duckweed, azora. These things are coming up in aquaculture to reduce cost of feeding some by 20%. Then stock juvenile, stock harvest early before. If you are stocking your fish, stock fish that is already not fingerling from juvenile stage.
Hi, doctor. If you are still speaking, we cannot hear you. Or is it me? Hope it's not me. Can everyone hear, doctor? Okay, I think I'm seeing in the comment section. All right, maybe it's the network. Let's wait a while for him to come back. Okay. Okay, thanks everyone. I see that I'm not the only one. Okay. Yeah, I think he's still on the call. Trying to check. Hi, doctor.
Next slide. Sorry.
Okay, we couldn't hear you at some point.
Yes, there was interruption on network.
All right.
Our office network. But it's so. I'm sorry. Next slide.
Okay.
So some of all these things, the first one, you can see the map of Nigeria with this on commencement of rainfall and the rest. On our right is a fish pond being powered by solar. So the borehole is powered by solar, and it's a collaborative fish farming between government institution and a private investor. Then down below on the right is a cage system, and that bubbling water is the use of what aerators. And here is telling us in modern our community and farm system is supposed to plant trees and the rest, so that we can have a very good ecosystem. The next slide. Next slide. So for the under the fish, you can see that below is map of integrated in our institute. Then for the fish feed, instead of using a fish meal, we're advocating now use of black soldier fly, and then integrated, which is happening on the extreme right. Then climate change is already real. Aquaculture intensification contributes to climate change, but we have a way to mitigate it. Then there must be innovative to reduce calamities that we encounter. We should work with weather information and data. Then follow policies and regulations. There are so many policies that are in place in different countries, including Nigeria, to mitigate and navigate, and also many technologies that are banned now. The next slide. Next slide. So here we are talking of issue of livestock. Why is climate change a major issue? We can see on a desert issue due to no rainfall. You can see why. Because animals are not looking for water. Yeah? They are looking for water. There's no water. So you can see tiny water. Then because there's no water and there's no food, you can see the animal that are emaciating down. Then this is the green grass. If we have patches where animal can graze, there will not be issue. But because of issue of weather and climate change, that is bringing about all these things. And what's driving them? No grass pasture for the animal to graze, no water to drink. Next slide. Next slide. So drivers of livestock climate change. One is heat. The stress of the heat is too much. Particularly if you come to Nigeria, people who live up north. If you go to Kenya and the rest other countries with less rainfall. So it's a major issue. And heat is because there's no rainfall. Degraded land, overgrazing, deforestation. All of us are what? We are all culprits to this. People, animals, they are overgrazed a place. Two different people are cutting wood in the forest for firewood and the rest of them. All these things are causing issues, and they have reduced rainfall. Deforestation, the same thing. Even in many places where they have forests, individuals or government have even sold all those people to build houses, which is a problem. I've mentioned overgrazing. Intensive cultivation is rising. Population is increasing. People want to farm 10 hectares, 20, 30 hectares. So all these things are creating problem. Bush burning is a problem. The question we ask ourselves, like I said, are you participating in all these things, which means we need to control and stop. Then wood, because of people want to cook. Government know that in the many local places, if you don't give people solar stove or gas or kerosene, then people must go to the bush. But all this is, if government has been making effort, there's no electricity in most part of Nigeria. Like Nigeria, we are generating only 4,000 mega or 5,000, which is nothing compared with the population. So government absence of electricity is creating problem and all that. Then faulty irrigation systems. irrigation systems are also contributing. And then land compartment, because there's no water. Land, no manure, and the rest of them, they are less productive to grow pastures for the animals to graze and the rest of them. Next slide. So you can see here is telling us how climate change affects livestock. Because there's because of the impact of the climate, feed and water resources are limited. And because fish and water, animal health is affected. Because it is affected, processing and all those storage becomes a problem. Then people don't have meat to eat. And so it's a big circle. And all this thing, because climate change, livestock, there's no good food. It affects quality of the meat, the milk they produce. And all these things affect the income of the people of the livestock rearers, whether particularly in ruminant and goat, sheep, cattle, and the rest of them. Poultry is a little bit better because poultry is depend on what you give. So all this in the nutritional issue, and then they have quality, nutritional quality, safety, and the rest of them. Prices also goes up, and then people are now being emaciated because we don't have enough protein to eat from livestock. So you can see it is a complex because of climate change. It's affecting so many people that are involved in livestock livelihood. Next slide. So because of this thing, you can see the first slide, there's confusion among cattle rearers of Fulani or people engaged in all these rearing, particularly the ruminant cattle, goat, sheep, and the rest of them. So that you can see they are discussing no food for the animal. What do? They start to roam about in the street looking for where they will get green pastures. Even as I'm now in the office, near my office, you can see cattle everywhere. So in the street, they become problem, and which is a wrong solution for them to start coming into the cities. But because there's no water in search of food, and you can see this person now, the water they are drinking is not a neat water, which will create a problem. Because the water is not neat, so they will take their, and the same thing applies to both the down images, dirty water, which will constitute disease and the rest of which will affect the quality of the livestock and even human being, because some pathogens or this can be transmitted from livestock to human being if not properly taken care of. The next slide. Next slide. So drought and its impact. One is because of this, there is resource scarcities. Like in Nigeria, desertification and the rest of them, because of drought, increased demand with less water and feed available. Cattle require more water and process and their feed. Then is displacement. It causes problem because they are going to villages and the rest. It causes problem and the rest of them. Then the next is migration. That's why you see herders. They migrate during the rainy season. Some of them will return to the north, using Nigeria as an example, where none because of the rainfall. But during dry season, you see them migrating to the south, which is causing problem, and a whole lot of them. Then the livelihood of these people are also in threat. Is being threatened because what they can't live their livelihood. Some of them, they lost a whole lot of animals and the rest of them. Then because of all this conflict is happening, Nigerian own is becoming a very terrible case. We have seen a lot. Benue axis, Jos axis, done everywhere. And then cattle rustling, people coming to steal, bandits and the rest of them. So the consequences of the climate change is a problem. And all these problems we are experiencing it now. The next slide. So the way out is what? we have to start thinking of what? Rearing livestock that we can feed. Yet, because the old method, we can't sustain the old method. Nigeria is not the only place, or in Africa. If you travel other places, you see that people have adapted to modern way of rearing livestock, particularly the ruminant. People in poultry don't have this problem, like all those migration and the rest of them. So, but you can see, so one is feeding. If you must have livestock, be prepared to feed it. And that's when you get more money. Like people who do fattening and the rest. The only thing is issue of money. And these are the feed they sell in the market. If you watch this, the normal thing, you can see the water is supposed to be very decent and neat, not the type of water that they are drinking there. And here you can see different type of feed in the market. So this is the way to go, modernizing our farming, not the old way. Even if you are going to a pasture, you have a pasture where you can grow the grasses and then water and the rest of them, because you make more money. They make the meat quality, disease resistance, and all those things will improve, and income will also increase. Next slide. So another is what? Issue of making use of weather information. Everybody, particularly the youth, you must be conscious of information that can aid good decision and to know what is happening. And this, like I told you earlier, I shared this earlier. So you can see the information when rainfall is starting and the rest. And that will help you to take some good decisions. Then you have a pasture where you can grow, where animal can feed. Then others are what? In a house, your house, animal house should be sure that you build it with a cooling material. Instead of using too much zinc, you use asbestos, or you can use local grasses that can last. All these things help to control temperature. Improving feed quality and management. We have to, like, instead of going to be moving animal all around, using the energy which they have gained. No, you confine them, give them feed, and then you clean the place where the basic hygiene and the rest of them. Then better grazing practices, where you can divide your pasture into different portions. They can graze here, next week another place, and the rest of them. Then managing manure more, because all these livestock, they have to fertilize farmlands. Like some of the farmers, they will tell you if they want to add manure, they can invite the cattle rearers to bring the animal in their farm to graze. When by doing that, they defecate, and all those things we add as manure. So when they apply, they will apply it, it increases yield. Enhance overall resource efficiency in production and supply chain. The next is using manure to produce biogas for cooking. You can also go into biogas for cooking. If we don't have, but many people in the world don't know about this technology. So these are better ways. And then afforestation, which engage in planting trees. It can be economic trees, it can be medicinal, it can be the ones that the animal will eat. So these are some of the ways that we can, things we can do. The next slide. Then issues of animal health is important, because like we have seen before, due to climate change, moving about, drinking dirty water and the rest of them is a problem. So one is, if you are to engage in livestock, you have to use genetic improved livestock, whether in poultry, whether in goat, sheep, cattle, or any other one. There are so many new breeds, hybrid, they are all available. Then disease control, you must have contact with veterinary people, or have a knowledge of basic treatment that you can give to your animal through animal health. Then improve reproduction by enhancing efficiency, so that the animal can extend a longer lifetime and performance, and then lowering emission intensity. Then technology and efficiency. Under this, you have to talk of precision agriculture, irrigation, even a modern farm. You can put borehole and the rest of them. The use of modern app. There are apps that have been developed for livestock animals that if your animal has a case, you can contact them. I know one by VOM, they have that, although I don't know the name, but they have that. And I know in Kenya and some other African countries, they have all these apps that farmers can use to solve their problem. Then another one is digital thermometer for heat to know the temperature within the area. If you have poultry, it's important. And even in your poultry, the house we are going to construct, you have to consider to have enough ventilation and other things. Then financial empowerment. One of the things that farmers use is issue of finance, to have capital for investment and capital for this thing. Capital for to meet operating costs is important. All this is necessary to help the young farmers to overcome basic challenge and to be able to engage into livestock production. Then another thing is, I didn't put it here, is issue of you can go into fattening or meat product or whatever thing. Fattening within a short period. People are already practicing it. You buy an animal, keep it for a small time under intensive system, feed it 3, 4, 5 months or year, you sell. Then another thing is issue of seasonality. Is important. If you are going into poultry or into like a goat, sheep, ram, seasonality is important to know the period of high demand, so that you can have them, rear them within a short period and sell. Then, like my colleague, I said he has mentioned so many things. Business orientation. You cannot be talking of agribusiness. Agribusiness is not just farming. No, it's a business. You must know about business management, and the rest of them, like he have mentioned, financial literacy, record keeping, and other things is important. Then is issue of marketing. Any business anybody is doing, you must know about marketing. Without marketing, you have not started. So you have to know about market the area. Are you using digital marketing? Are you using physical market? And then what is the price people are selling? And other marketing, you should be able to know about 5 P's of marketing. One is the people, the product, promotion, and price. If not, when your product, if you don't know the price other people are selling, and they come your own is too much, you are not going to sell. And then under the 5 P's, you should also know about what using the price, high price, high quality product, high price. If your product is of high quality and you have a high price, you know that already in the market, people are already there. So this is a product that has high quality and you're putting high price. You cannot use it as a beginner to penetrate the market. This is for people that have already established and people have known them. But if you have high quality product, low price, so which means that's an entry point. You want to attract customers to yourself to know you, that is what you are doing. Yeah, and with that, people can patronize you over time. Then you increase their price to stabilize, like people who have high price, high quality product. Then the third one is issue of low price, low product, because already, which means the product is inferior. For instance, somebody who have a cow that is dying, you're just looking for people to come and buy it, and you sell anyhow. Or you have a goat or a sheep that is diseased and is about to die. Like some people go, they will go and call people who are in abattoir to come and buy and slaughter and sell. So these are already inferior, because all that, you know that the animal is diseased and the animal is about to die. So you sell at any price, and we should avoid those type of practices. So at this point, I want to appreciate all of you once again, and for the organization for giving me another opportunity to talk to you people. Thank you. and look forward to your questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sir. Thank you so much, sir. Well appreciated. Everybody is saying thank you and clapping their hands using the emojis. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I know there are questions. I know that, right? So if you have questions for Dr. or even Ernest, please raise your hand. Would tell you to raise your to unmute and ask your questions. Please just direct your questions to whoever you want to ask, if it's the first speaker or the second speaker, so that they can just answer it directly and we don't get to waste too much time. Thank you so much. Ali Nuswe Kapisa. This is one of our top scholars. All right, please go ahead and ask your question.
Doc, thank you very much for the informative presentation. My question is, with the implementation of the smart practices that you've just told us about, for instance, the using of apps and how we need to control the grazing of animals and different things, they seem to be capital intensive. Now, what we experience in Zambia, where I come from, is generally people use whatever means they can to make animals grow, and meats on the market are cheap. Now, if like how do you go about doing the right thing, ensuring you're doing the right thing, you're being agricultural climate smart in your approach towards animal health and how you bring up animals, and yet you spend quite more in the production phase than your competitors who are just going about doing shortcuts. Yeah, like how can you go about it and make money? Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, I'm very happy with your question. You know, and that's why we should understand the market. In the market, we have market segments. We have different customers in the market. There are people, if you are producing high quality product, you know their product is not for them. Like you have said, you observe everything. If you have a product you are producing and you are taking all those hygiene, and you are, by the time you want to, that's why I tell you, in any area, you should be able to know the customers, people that are there. So you should target people that are able to buy your product. You are not going to take it to local market. You do what is targeted marketing. Telling people, this is my product, this and that. With the social media, people, you can market your product. This is, and those who know the value will buy it. It is happening already in fish farming. People produce, they smoke using new smoking clean, not the local smoking fish. The people just put that is dirty, and people are buying. You have special price for your product. You understand? So that is why you should, marketing is important. And by that time, even if you join a proper group, not just your colleagues, depending on where somebody, if you're a student, you know a student cannot buy your product. So you start joining professional groups where people who know the value of what you are doing, they will appreciate it and they will buy. And that's the essence of branding. You understand? So I don't see it much, but maybe, you know, at the initial, like I told you, you can have a high quality, you can only reduce your, assuming you are into goods. If you are selling a kg at in your country or anywhere, if you are selling, let's say it's $10, then you can bring your own maybe to 9, and that initial, because you will say cover and have profit, but at least you give something. That's something what you are going to use to attract people to start buying from you. And over time, you build a network and people will know you and start making demand as you keep record and build your group, either WhatsApp group, and people will buy from you and the rest of them. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much, sir. Frederick Uma Obondo, please go ahead.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Patience. So my question goes to Dr. Philip, and once again, thanks for that nice presentation. Now, one of the key elements or factors of mitigations that we had before that we've encountered is the aspect of the insurance part. That is maybe having livestock insurance, crop insurance. Just it's a form of financial literacy or a boost to farmers. Now, what is your take on the aquaculture insurance? Because like in Kenya, I'm from Kenya, and this particular kind of venture or agribusiness is being perceived to be very risky, and the return is very low. And we know, if you even know the kind of losses that cage farmers could experience with the climate change, etc., etc. Now, what is your take in terms of insurance? How best can which kinds of policy can we come up with to just ensure that the insurance bit also cover the aquaculture? Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. You know, like I said, I don't know in Kenya whether it is government institution that is doing agri insurance or whether it's both government and private. But in Nigeria now, we have Nigerian agri insurance, a government agency, and they're the only one. Because like you rightly said, agri is a high risk, yeah, and even livestock and all these things. So those the agri insurance people, they are covering aquaculture. Those who have, but the issue is that people participating, the percentage is still very, very low. Yeah, but people awareness is coming up small, and those who are doing it, they reap the benefit. In 2002, Fight some Fish Society, the Niger State chapter, we organized a workshop for fishermen in Niger. A woman, she's based in Mina. She took insurance, and when she had problem, they paid her. They helped to reduce the challenge. So the issue is anything insurance, even in other places, people are looking at insurance as wayo people. People are saying so, but the one that is from government, it is working. But the issue is few people are taking it because people don't. You have to pay small money at the initial stage, which if anything happens, they will look at it and then know what to pay you for you to be in your business, and it's working. But the point is what the insurance uptake is still very, very low, but it is there. The only way. That's why I told you that people are advocating, let private insurance people come up so that they'll be able to cover a whole lot, because agri is vast, crop, livestock, and aquaculture. They are all is a big area to cover. So that is it. So if in Kenya, and if it is government, is for you to find out. I don't know if the private people are practicing, then we'll find out the extent the private people are doing there, whether they're doing it well or they're not doing it well. If not, there's a need to have a policy that will empower the private people to go into agri insurance, because many farmers need it, in particular the young ones who are now becoming aware on the benefit of insurance. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. Fausia Alasan, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Ma, for this opportunity again. Ma, my question is, how can companies implement effective risks for mitigation strategies and adaptation strategies, Ma? Thank you.
Okay, Ernest, I think you should answer this. How can companies
implement effective risk mitigation strategies and adaptation strategies in production?
Yeah, oh yeah, thank you. So she's asking how can company effectively adopt the mitigation and adaptation strategies, right, in the production activity?
Yes.
Well, again, like we said, it's been a talk of the day. I think the first approach is to consider farming as a business. So when you consider farming as a business, then you're going to be seeing it in terms of what is at stake if I don't do this, and what do I benefit if I do this? Now, so we already predefined, if you go back in your modules, what adaptation is. So adaptation, companies are going to adopt adaptation practices based on how they are hit by the effects of climate change. So companies are not going to take the same approach of the adaptation. So I'm starting from adaptation. So because again, we are saying we are adapting to the effects, to the consequences already in place. So where is your company located? Do you have floods? Do you have droughts? Do you have pest outbreaks? So what are the consequences of the climate change affecting your businesses, and at which extent? So that will determine how much money, how much efforts you are willing to actually put into the adaptation measures, so as to prevent your businesses of going bankrupt or actually being into loss. So it's really going to be on case-by-case basis and depending on how the companies are affected. Now, in terms of mitigation, I think every company should be really thinking about to put in place mitigation strategies, because mitigation means prevention of the root cause of the problem. So nobody is immune, which means whether you're right now being affected by the droughts or rainfall or floods or pests, or whether you are not affected, at some point in the future, you might, because climate change is just growing. It's not going to go anywhere. The weather forecast is, the models shows that things are not necessarily getting better. So if you're a company and you're in business, you'd rather put in place measures that prevent those issues to occur in your business value chain. And the investment you put into that actually is it worth it? Because the return is going to be high. Because you are saying, let's say, I'm just going to give you one example. Let's say you are involved in let's say, right, one of our presenter, Philip, talked about aquaculture. One of the biggest issue is the scarcity of feed, for example. Now, we know, for example, that soil is degraded and there's not enough soil, and we know all those issues he mentioned, like rainfall and floods and stuff. So one of the things that people are doing, for example, to avoid emissions and to actually claim carbon credits is hydroponics. Hydroponics is a way to actually grow food without necessarily relying on the soil. And you can obviously alternate and engage other technologies, but the key point is you're trying to invest in the production of enough food, but without harming the soil, without digging the soil, without disturbing the soil structure. So companies really going to take some of these decisions based on where they are located, based on how they are already affected, and based on how the projections are in their portfolios.
Okay,
Thank you
let
so
me add,
much. Oh, all right, sir. Yes, sir.
let me add to what Ernest just said. Again, Ernest mentioned about having feasibility studies and the rest. If somebody you're assessing your capital, either capital for investment or working capital, if it is from bank or financial investors, in your feasibility, you are going to have a place where you issue of all this insurance or risk control will be there. Even in the bank loan and the financial investors, they take some percentage which they use to pay for insurance to cover some risk in that loan you are taking. So it's always a component in the bank feasibility or loan they are going to give you, or financial investors. And again, if any business you want to, you have to study the area, both from your construction of your house. There's a way you have to know the direction of the wind and the rest of the name and the rest of that, to avoid the situation where you site your house and the wind, it will be easy for the wind to destroy. So that's why you consult people, they will study so that you do things that are proper. And as an investment, like he has said, you must take precaution. If it is poultry, what is it? This thing, if you are entering the poultry, you must take hygiene serious. Then people will not be entering your place anyhow. where you discharge the animal waste and all those things. And that's why you should invest in working tools, whether thermometer, digital water testing kit, and the rest of them. All these things, and you have keep record, so that every day from your record you study, use it to take decision, and that's what is called information intelligence. You study and use it to take decision. Like this place, we have a record of about close to 30 years, 20 to 30 years of rainfall. And we have discovered that within every 4 to 5 years, there's always a drought. So if you are a crop farmer and all this information will help you to know when to plant. Since last year, there has always been a drought. Even this year, those who planted early this year around June, I'm talking of like a issue of a crop. There's a drought, and those who planted early August, their crops are doing far more better than those who planted early. Then, like I mentioned in my area now, in a community where fish farmers have a hub, there are people who are mining. Now, the chemical they're using, they wash it into the river, and that river is what is supplying they use to pump water to their pond. And yesterday and today, you can see thousands of fish in their pond that have died, which is a heavy loss. So all these are important that we take to observe what is happening in an area like I've told you. Ask local people, get local information apart from formal information to guide you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Antonio Scaruro, please go ahead.
Sorry, appreciates.
Oh, all right, please.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go in the next maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So there's a question I saw that was addressed to me. Maybe I can go for it in the comments.
Yes,
and
please go ahead.
Before I do that, thank you very much, Dr. Philip, for the additions. That was very useful, and I think whoever asked the question had more than what they needed. So somebody was asking, I can't remember the name, but I took note of the question. Of the difference between conservation and natural farming, and that's why I see that a very important question. You guys don't be carried away by the terminologies. People are using buzzy terms for their own interest, political interest, organizational interest, because they are looking for a funding in an organization that actually value conservation or conservation agriculture versus natural farming. So that's why I very much encourage you to actually go much into what are the practices that are being mentioned, whether you say natural farming, conservation agriculture. I think what we are saying here is our land is degraded. 50% of our land in Africa is degraded. Let's see how we can restore our land in Africa, and let's see how we can ensure that as much as we can, we are burying carbon inside, CO2. That's what it is. Whether it's carbon farming, whether it's a conservation, whether it's a natural farming, we're trying to see it's about the soil. Honestly, it's about the soil, trying to see how we can protect our soil, how we can restore our soil, and how we can bury as much carbon as we can into the soil. Because the benefits are just so enormous when you do that. So I would encourage you not to be carried away, not to be disturbed by the terminologies that people use, but rather focus on the practices. Because when you go down to both of them, you're going to see that most of the practices they are recommending are the same. They're going to be talking about minimizing the tillage. They're going to be talking about using as much organic fertilizers and mulching as you can. They're going to be talking about using local seeds that are adapted to the weather of those areas for years. They're going to be talking about using, trying as much as you can to do mulching, to do crop diversification, to use manure, those type of things, to use biopesticide. But then the names, they're going to look one small differences to just have a name, to have a title, but focusing more on the practices and the very mission and the very reason of why we are doing what we're doing more than the titles.
All right, thank you so much, Ernest. Thank you. Okay, so because you said you'll be going in no distant time, maybe we should just take our group pictures now before you leave, so that were able to get that done before you go. So please, let's put on our videos and our very good smiles and take pictures with our facilitators before Ernest leaves. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for putting on your videos. Thank you. So, dear team members, we're all putting on our videos. Kindly help us take snapshots. And also from your end, you can screen grab, you can screenshot as much as possible, right? So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for putting on your videos. All right, thank you so much, Ernest. I don't know if you are leaving now, but if you are still around, that would be very cool. But if you are leaving, it's still very okay. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for all of your contributions. They are really, 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 really appreciated. We appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, Ernest. So we'll just continue. We'll have 2 more hands raised and all right.
Before
Sir.
you continue, somebody posted a picture of maize that they leaves. Kamal also. You say it's common. Kamal, I want to tell you that thing you are saying. Maybe probably you don't have enough rainfall in your area. I think it's caterpillar also. We experience it in this place because at my backyard we planted small maize, and even our neighbors. So the best thing you will do is go and meet those selling agrochemical in your area. You can buy and spread. And the ones you are having enough rainfall, those things will go. But go to those selling agrochemical, they give you the chemical that you use to spray your crops, and it will go. Thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you so much, Doctor. So Antonios Caruro, please go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Patience. And thanks to Dr. Philip and Ernest. I think mine is not really a question, Patient, but it's an input from what I actually have picked up from the BRACE program. Ourselves as a company, we have developed a solution which we use polybags. We call it the hydropoly. So it's a combination of a traditional method, soil method, and hydroponics, but whereby we don't really plant in a soil. I just shared a few pictures there on the chat, but I never thought, or I never realized that the solution we have was talking to climate adaptation. So we thought that it's just a solution we have for us, but as I was going through the course, I realized that we actually have developed a solution that talks to climate adaptation and also suitable not to disturb the soil structure. So as Mr. Ernest have said, is that it's not a luxury to have all these new components in place or as part of our practice, but it's a need. So we were also thinking, because our solution, it's not quite cheap, so we were thinking of giving up on it, but really this have regenerated our whole thought towards our solution. Because also apart from planting in these polybags, we also have a soil monitoring tool that works with the app that a farmer or a client can use to monitor the soil moisture, the soil fertility, the sunlight. So I think for me, I'm just amazed by the BRACE courses. Really, it have regenerated my solution. We are now really working on it to re-implement. And I'm really thankful for that. So that was my input. So I shared some pictures there for some projects that we have done, even with the government officials in Namibia. So, but we really wanted to give up on it, not knowing that we were really having a solution to climate change. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing with us. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Sir, there is a question on the chat box before I ask the last person to, ask their question. This person says that my question is based on the unforeseen hazard of flooding. For instance, you did all your due diligence before acquiring a land for your agriculture, i.e. in a commercial area, and you have settled down and started your farming. But due to climate effect in some axes that became flooded, whereby the water started flooding your farm bit by bit. As we all know, water will always find its way. So what are the things that can be done to prevent such things before? And yes, Dr. Sir, this person is specific. He said to the second facilitator.
Okay, it's noted. You know, when we say climate change, like I've said, it has altered the natural way. And what is causing all this alteration? Human actions. Maybe people have started building houses in certain places. They will block waterways. Maybe government have constructed a dam or something somewhere that will alter the way water flows in all those places. Some places, gutter are blocked. You know, we have natural flooding, and the one that is man-made, the one natural flood from the river when it overflows East Bank and the rest, and the one caused as a result of lack of drainage system, the one we are seeing now in Lagos that happen and all these places. So all those ones, when it's up, that's what we are saying. There's nothing somebody can do. They are beyond you. They're depending on the activity that you are engaged. If it is fish farming, if you have a fish pond, one is if it is not too sudden to overrun your farm, better harvest and look for buyers to sell. But if it is so that you can control, fine. You understand? So some you will take all those, but again, like I tell you, some things happen over a period of years, like what happened in Mokwa. They say this place, it has been more than 10 years because that used to be a waterway. Maybe somewhere, something must have blocked, but now the water find its way this year to cause a whole lot of damage. So it happens like that because there has been alteration in the natural way, either by construction or whatever thing. And once it happens, things will change. I don't know. I hope I've helped you out.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So I have the last hand raised, Frank Rotans. Please, I'm asking you to unmute and ask your question.
Hello, okay. Thank you for this opportunity. Well, this is Frank, and I'm the co-founder of Lamalo Agribusiness Company Limited, based in Jinja, Uganda. We do value addition on locally grown oilseeds like peanuts, sunflower, simsim, almond, oyster nut, among others, to make various cold pressed oils, and use the same oils to make natural handmade soaps. Then we also repurpose our seed cakes as organic fertilizers and animal feeds. But then now my question, we rotate around the costing of the products that we make. Now, for example, you find that most of the SMEs or agribusinesses, now, for example, like us, we do source raw materials from smallholder farmers. And sometimes there's always price fluctuations on their side. And because of maybe the shortage or sometimes when the seeds are plenty. Now, how can a small business set a certain price of their products so that they still make a profit, but do not keep increasing prices for the customers? Because when the prices increase on the side of the where we source them from, like from the farmers, you find that there will be an additional price on the cost of, rather on the price of the product, where you find that a consumer will be able to add a certain price in order to compensate the one that we added as a company to purchase the raw materials. So how can one, maybe if you can help me explain some ways to keep the prices stable even when the raw materials, like the prices of raw materials increase or decrease? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You know, each of input and raw material is a problem. And where there is no market control, because we're in the free market in Africa. You understand? One, if you are engaged in value addition or processing of a product, I advise one, buy, if you have the money, buy your inputs, raw materials, when prices are cheaper. So you can store them, you understand? So that during the period of scarcity, you will not have problem. You are producing, you have bought the raw material when the prices are cheap, relatively cheap. Even people who are in fish farming, who have money, that's what they do. But the small ones who don't have money, is going to affect them. So that is one. Two, like I've said, when any product you are producing, you should know the value of your product. And once people know the quality, it's quality that determines what people want to buy. Yeah, when people know the quality and what the benefit they are going to get for it, there are people who will buy your product. And that is why also you should know where to target your target customers. We have different customers. We have people who like high quality things. They are ready to pay. And you know, in that sense, you are going to grow your market gradually. Yeah, but if the quality is not there, you carry a product, you can't carry to a local market. You understand? So you must target people, high class people, and you know where you locate your shop. You understand? So that people will know this exactly over time. Yeah, you nurture and grow your customer base. I hope you are following me. Again, you can target foreign market with what is available now. There are people who export certain things abroad. They have African markets in Europe, America, everywhere. So you can target such people who have African market where you can sell your product. Things are, the price value is higher there than what we have here. And which means you have to produce to meet international standard and everything. Your product, I don't know if in your country, if they have, here we have NAFDAC, standard organization, you must have their number. And then put issue of traceability, your phone number and all those things. And then package your product so that it meets international standard. So these are options. But for you to maintain, one is if you have money, buy your raw material when the prices are cheap, particularly when people are early harvesting before the period of scarcity will approach. With that, it will help you to produce at a cheaper and affordable price. And again, target specific customers that will value your product. They can be in city and the rest of the, and then look for African markets abroad. I think with this, you have a breakthrough. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much for all of the insights that you've given today. Thank you for joining us. As always, you always come when we call upon you. We appreciate this so much. Thank you so much, sir. And to Ernest, I think Ernest has left. Thank you so much for speaking to us today and giving insights to some of the issues around adaptation and mitigation strategies in both crop and livestock production. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. So quickly, we'll go to other questions. If you have questions around the portal usage and then you're not able to access the modules and all of that, this is the point where you get to, ask us and we'll try to help you go around it. But before then, I would, Melvin Dwaka, please hold on. I'll ask you to ask your question around the portal. So, but before then, we'll quickly take you through the membership platform of the African Food Changemakers. We have always told you that BRACE is just a program within African Food Changemakers. We have a membership network where you get to enjoy a lot of other things, other benefits attached to it if you become a member rather than just being a BRACE participant. For example, some of our team members are in South Africa doing a meet and greet with South African participants, and also having BRACE study visit in South Africa and all that. So it is very, very good for you to become a member, because beyond just the study visit, you get to network, you get to collaborate with other entrepreneurs and that work around the agri-food sector, and you get to, learn a lot from other people. And peer learning is one of the greatest way of, learning, especially when it comes to business. So really, I'll call on the membership officer at African Food Changemakers to quickly take us through how we can become a member of the AFC community. Hi, Nusa. Good afternoon or good evening. Are you there?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Nusa. Please, over to you.
Okay,
Can
thank
Oh,
you
I
so
please
go?
much.
hold on, Nusa, before you do that. Dr. Philip, you are raising your hand.
I said,
Please,
can I
sir.
go now?
Yes, please. Yes. Thank you so much,
Okay.
sir, for your
Okay, I
contribution. You
appreciate.
can. Yes,
Thank you
thank you,
very
sir.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, sir. All right, so Nusa, please, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Patience. You've actually said everything, so maybe just a repetition I'll do from my end. But just like Patience said, welcoming our base participants to this cohort as well. Uh, this is your first live interactive session, and like she said, we have, apart from the base program, we have a designated membership platform. So we have members across 49 African countries, and as of today, we have over 8,000 entrepreneurs across Africa. And what we do primarily is to help our entrepreneurs to scale. We do this by providing opportunities and resources for them. We also help their businesses to enter new and African global markets. We have a designated opportunities page on our website where entrepreneurs or members can explore different opportunities, from funding opportunities to capacity building opportunities to exhibition opportunities, even to trainings and data resources as well. Then we have our marketplace where entrepreneurs can upload their products and maybe and also create access for visibility across other platforms as well. So these are all the things we do at African Food Chainmakers to help our members grow. And I would like to also take us through how we can become members for those who are here to be part of the community. Next slide, please. So the first thing you need to know about African Food Chainmaker is that you follow us on our social media, or you navigate to our website www.afchub.org, where you can see all our initiatives, all our activities, and what we do, or what we're all about. Then on the landing page, you see join the community icon, or you can also click on the drop down that is appearing on the top right of your screen. And once you do that, you'll be navigated to a new landing page where you'll be asked some questions about your businesses, about your profile. This will request that all the information you put must be accurate and up to date so that we can get the best from the information you give us, and we can use it to streamline the type of resources and opportunities that we share with you. Once you fill those documents, those information or the questions, please ensure that you click on the submit icon at the end of the page so that you can be rest assured that your registration has been submitted. Once that has been done, we at our end will receive a notification, and from your end as well, you receive a confirmation email. Note that the confirmation email is different from the verification email. Confirmation email is just to let you know that your submission has been received, and we will attend to it between the next 24 hours to 48 hours. Why we do this is we also need to review the submission that you've submitted, and we know that verify the sources and all the information that you've kept there. When we verify from our end, your registration is now fully active, and you receive a verification email giving you the access to your membership portal, where you can also navigate through all your membership dashboard as well and see what the platform offers, from the marketplace to the resources to the chat engagement to the portfolio feeds as well, and even to your referral batch reward system. Then you also be added automatically to our mailing lists, and also to our membership groups, from WhatsApp to to Facebook to LinkedIn and to Telegram. You can get all those links on your membership dashboard to join. Please note that for you to be part of the community, we request that you meet just three criteria from our end. First is that you should own an agri business or work in an agri business, that work as a top management for that agri business. Also, the business that you work for and that you own must be in existence for at least 6 months before signing up to our membership platform. Then we also request that you have a social media presence or a website that speaks to the activities that you do in the agri-food space. If you meet these 3 criteria and are yet to be part of the community, kindly use the link that has been dropped in the chat box to join the AFC membership platform from there. Thank you. Over to you, Patience.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Nusa. So you have heard now, it is time for you to be a member of the AFC community so that you can benefit much more than just the BRACE program. Yeah, thank you so much. So like we always do, I would put the poll on the screen now so that we can fill the poll while we take our questions for those that have questions around the portal. So Melvin, please, I'm asking you to unmute and ask your questions while I share my poll. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Yeah, I've actually go through all of the modules and I haven't submitted my assignment yet. But my total, spoken there, and then I'm not actually having access to my certificate. And lastly, my last question, during the orientation of the program, they make mention about 2 phases, that is the self-learning path and the interactive session, which we are on. And then I think for the technical aspect, the facilitator mentioned that they're going to be on study basis to implement smart facility. So the study basis is only for member for the AFC. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Melvin, for your question. These questions have been asked before and we have answered them. So for assessment and assignment, we have said assessment is what is compulsory. You must take assessment before you get to the next module or even before you finish your program and all that. But assignment is not compulsory. We have said this for the opt-in time. Assignment is not compulsory. It's just for your self-learning. So you can still download your certificate when the certificate download is available. You can still download your certificate without assignment if you want. But if you also want to learn more and get more knowledge and more insight and all of that, it is okay for you to take the assignment, right? That is it. Then for the technical phase, I just even spoke about it before my colleague talked about the membership portal. So for the technical phase, we have said that once you graduate and all of that, we have the mentoring session, which other people that have graduated and they have downloaded their certificates are doing at the moment. And also we also have the study visit. And I even mentioned that the BRACE team are actually in South Africa for the BRACE study visit at the moment. As a matter of fact, there are participants here that even though they have not downloaded their certificates, they indicated to participate in the study visit and we allowed them, knowing that they are still going to download their certificate. So please, the study visit is for everyone that have downloaded their certificates as long as you are in that country, and which has been mentioned before that study visit that happened in Ghana, had happened in Kenya, had happened in Malawi, in some parts of Nigeria, and then now in South Africa. So thank you so much, Melvin. Charles, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I think the issue is completed the module. Say go to assess, you get a certificate. I go there, no certificate is there. I completed.
We
but I'm
keep
not able to
saying
get my
this
certificate.
we keep saying this over and over again. It means you didn't attend the last live interactive session, because we said it that certificate is not available for download yet. You have to attend the live sessions first before you're able to download your certificate. We have said this before again and again.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So are there
Thank you.
other questions? Okay, so if there are no other questions, please, I'm waiting for you all to fill the poll on your screen. Please, if you have not completed the poll yet, please let us complete the poll on the screen. It is actually very important for us to, do more with the live interactive session and also with the arrangement. Oh, there is a hand raised. Diolugi, I'm not sure I know, but please unmute and go ahead. Hi. I can't hear you if you are speaking.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, it's better, yes.
I need to check with regards to the training. You know, you have the downloadable documents on each page, but for some reasons I'm unable to download them. Is this something that
Okay.
we have to?
Okay, yeah. So we know that some participants are actually having issues downloading the certificate. So we're trying to create all, not certificates, sorry, the additional reading materials, which are the downloadable ones. We know that some participants are not able to download it. So we're trying to curate all of them, and then we'll be sending them to the WhatsApp group. Please join the WhatsApp group. The reason why we're not sending them via email is because they are actually heavy files that cannot come via email. So we'll be sending them to the WhatsApp group so that you can all have access to it from WhatsApp. So we'll do that as soon as possible this week. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, I thought another hand was raised. The person has dropped it. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me check the chat. Please help and complete the poll on your screen. And Jacqueline, please go ahead. Hi, Jacqueline.
Sorry, I know
yes.
that you have explained it again, but may you please just explain about the study visit again? I'm really not getting about that.
Okay, so for study visits, it's for people that have downloaded their certificates, right? And it is based on country by country, and that's actually why before now we always encourage people to share the link, the application link, with people from their country, so that we'll have good population in that country. Because for a place where we have only 2 or 3 people participating in the BRACE program, is just not, capital wise to start doing study visit in that country with just 2 people or 3 people and all of that. That's why some of the countries that have taken the study visit by now are countries where a lot of them have actually completed their modules, and they have downloaded their certificates. Example, we have done study visit in Ghana, we have done in Kenya, we have done in South Africa, we have done in Malawi, we have done in Nigeria as well. So these are places where we have good number of people that have taken the course, and then they have graduated. Some people applied, but they never completed it. They never, downloaded their certificates, and it's just not okay for us to start going to those countries and all that. But then next month on the 22nd or 23rd, the week of 22nd, we'll be conducting another study visit in Cameroon. So if you are a Cameroonian and you are on this call, please complete your courses or your modules and all that. We have to, even if you have not downloaded your certificates at the time, we have to be able to see that you are committed to completing the course before we invite you for the study visit. Hope you understand now, Jacqueline.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Muhammad Mahi, please go ahead. We have, it's already 5 o'clock, but let's just take this remaining 2. Melvin, please drop your question in the chat box. You have allowed you ask before now. So Muhammad, please go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please go ahead. Please, let's be
I
fast.
didn't upload my certificates, but I don't know whether there is another chance that I can be able to upload it.
Upload your certificates where?
Through the Gmail.
I'm confused. I'm not sure there is any form of certificate to upload. Nobody has uploaded any certificates in any Gmail, so I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm not. The certificate download is not even open yet. So which certificates are you going to be uploading? I'm confused. That's why. I'm not sure I understand. So please, nobody has uploaded any certificates and all. Okay, Melvin Dwaka said, well, so what become of us that our country is not listed for the study visit and all that? Let's have more of you in your country complete the BRACE program, and then you'll be listed. That's simple as that. Thank you. All right, thank you so much, everyone. And then someone is saying, am I guaranteed to attend this visit provided that I've downloaded the certificate? Yes. Will it be sponsored and all of that? It depends on your country. If it is happening in your country, you'll be invited. as long as you have downloaded your certificate and it will be sponsored within your country. Thank you so much. I see that's the last question I've answered. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for participating in the live interactive session for today. And we're going to be having our next live interactive session next week, Friday. Please complete your question. I'm sorry, Wazini Andrew, I may not be able to take your question because time is fast spent. Please send us an email or chat with any of the admin in the WhatsApp group. We would be sure to answer you. So please, next week, Friday, is the live interactive session for Module 3. And yes, we'll be having some experts come talk to us again next week. And please, if you are yet to complete or to even start Module 3, please go ahead and take Module 3 so that when we say participant sharing session next week, you'll be able to have something to share as your key takeaway next week, which is actually very important. We need to know that people are actually following the modules, not just coming to the live interactive session. And by week 3 or week 4, we'll be opening the certificates for download. You have to attend the live interactive session so that you can download your certificates when it is open. Thank you so much. Share your learnings and on social media and tag us. We'll be very happy to repost another. And then for the top scholars for the week, congratulations everyone that came up top scholars for week 1. We have actually shared your the posts online and all that. Please engage it, share with your network, and show the world that you are a top scholar for the BRACE program. And for everyone that is looking forward to being top scholar, I'm rooting for you all next week. I hope to celebrate you next week as a top scholar. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for participating in the live interactive session today. Till I see you again next week, Friday. Do have a good evening. Bye, everyone. Bye.